In today's video, we're going to talk about grudges, holding a grudge, what a grudge does, and how to let it go. If you like today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and share. Hi, my lovelies. My name is Lee, and welcome to Personal Development with Lee, where I provide you with strategies to help you live a better life. In today's video, we're going to examine grudges, what they are, what they do to you and the other person, and how to let them go. So the first question we have to examine is, what exactly is a grudge? Okay, so let me give you an example. Two friends are talking on the phone. They get into an argument. The first friend, once they calm down in a few hours, tries to contact friend number two. They try to FaceTime, they try to text, they try to call, but there's no answer. Finally, friend number one realizes that they've been blocked by friend number two. So let's take the scenario a little bit further. Let's give it two different outcomes. So let's say that friend number two unblocks friend number one, and then they eventually make up. But going forward, anytime friend number two gets a chance, they're continually bringing up what happened before in the first argument with friend number one. Okay, or let's try a different scenario. Let's say that friend number one is never able to get in contact with friend number two because friend number two never unblocks them. You can say in both of these scenarios that friend number two, who in scenario one keeps bringing up the past, that first argument with friend number one, or in the second scenario, never unblocks friend number one, so they never make up. That person, friend number two, is holding a grudge. A grudge is basically holding anger or resentment towards another person because you feel that they've slighted you in some way. While it's healthy to get angry and to feel hurt by someone else's actions, holding a grudge takes it to another level. Instead of patching up the problem and moving on to continue to have a healthy and loving relationship, the person holding the grudge is unnecessarily inflicting suffering upon not only the friend, but upon themselves. The second question we have to examine is, what makes a person hold a grudge? For the person holding the grudge, a lot of times they may feel hurt, wronged, and or disappointed in the actions of the other person. They may also feel resentment towards the other person. Grudge holders use grudges as a tool to feel empowered. This is because they're using the grudge as a form of punishment for the other person. As I'm sure you've heard before, they are essentially drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. If you're a grudge holder, you have to ask yourself, is this who I want to be? So the next question is, what happens to people who hold grudges? So people who hold grudges may be hurting the other person for a short period of time, but what they don't realize is that they're hurting themselves as well. You have to remember that because we are all one, whatever you do to other people, you're essentially doing that to yourself. Holding a grudge is basically a blockage. Nothing can get out, but also nothing can get in. Holding grudges can also be detrimental to your health. It can lead to things like depression, which can lead to heart problems or other health problems like cancer. Grudges keep you energetically tied to the person that you're holding a grudge against. But instead of the tie being positive, like it is when the tie is love, the tie is negative and it's draining because you're continually bringing something from your past into your present and future. And in this case, it will be pain, hurt, and resentment. Every time you think about the grudge, the way the law of attraction works is you're setting it up to where other people in the future could potentially be holding grudges against you. And by continually holding on to the negativity that holding a grudge creates in your energetic field, you are setting yourself up, per the law of attraction, to attract more negativity into your life. Another big thing that a grudge causes is it causes you to lose time. You basically waste your time being angry, hurt, and resentful towards someone when you could have been enjoying yourself with that person that you're holding the grudge against. Right now, in the world that we live in, let me tell you, we cannot afford to waste time. Okay, so now it's my favorite time. It's story time. So I had a friend when I was living in New York City when I was a teenager. I was like late teens, like around 19. This had to be between the age of 19 to 21. She and I were thick as thieves. We were inseparable. We hung out every night after work. And we used to have a really good time with each other. And when I eventually left New York in order to return back home, in order to go to college, we kept in touch by writing letters to each other, talking on the phone, and this was pre-internet. So she and I got into an argument after I came back home about something very silly, and we both stopped contacting each other. This went on for like 20 plus years until she finally contacted me on Facebook. When we reunited, it was just like we had never missed a beat. We still hung out with each other. We still had a good time with each other. We still had that same friendship we had all those years ago. But because we both held a grudge against each other, we lost 20 plus years where we could have been loving each other, being friends, and sharing in each other's lives. So the moral of my story is work it out. Don't let that friend, that relationship, or that family member, or anything like that get away. If the person is dear to you and you can't imagine your life without them, or they add more to your life than they take from your life, you need to pull out all of the stops and try to fix it before you decide to walk away. So the next thing we need to talk about, my lovelies, is how to let go of grudge. So one of the ways you can do this is by thinking like this. If everybody that you ever wronged decided to hold a grudge against you, how would you feel? I don't know about you, but me, I will feel awful. Because just like everybody else, I've done some crazy stuff to people in this lifetime, as I'm sure you have as well. The first thing you need to get rid of is the self-righteousness and the need to be right. You also need to get rid of your ego. By continually holding on to a grudge and talking badly about the person that you're holding a grudge against, you're basically putting negativity and pain out into the universe and into your present and also your future. The second thing you need to do is to put yourself in the other person's shoes and ask yourself, how would I want someone to treat me if I messed up? Tony Robbins talks about a concept in relationships called intent. He always says to ask yourself, when you get into a disagreement with anyone, if it was that person's intent to hurt your feelings. And then other questions you can ask yourself is, what kind of person is this person when things are good with us? Are they loyal? Do they have your back? Do you have a good relationship with them overall? On a 100% scale, how much of your relationship with this person is good? The next thing we need to talk about, my lovelies, is forgiveness. In the end, to get rid of a grudge, you're going to have to forgive not only the other person, but yourself. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It's actually the opposite. It's a sign of strength. Forgiveness is not condoning a person's bad behavior. It's saying that we all make mistakes and nobody's perfect. After you've measured your relationship on the 100% scale, it's not mostly good, then you have to ask yourself if, instead of holding a grudge, you just need to just turn and walk away. In both of these instances, You can use tools such as tapping, meditation, and journaling to help you work through the grudge. All right, my lovelies. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to be notified of any videos I post in the future. And don't forget to comment and like the video if you like it. And also, if you have any ideas for any videos you would like for me to make in the future, please put that information in the comment box. And I'd like to wish you a fantastic day. Thank you. I love you. And namaste.